I'd like to welcome everybody back to another episode of Beyond the Fear podcast, the place where you come to get some motivation, some inspiration, and just overall just a positive word. Today's episode is a lesson that I've been slowly learning. It's people have been talking to me about this, been telling me about this, and I really haven't been absorbing it. I've been hearing them, but I really haven't been listening, like really tuning in, really trying to understand the message that they were trying to say. But some things started to happen over the past 2 weeks that really just kind of made me realize, you know what, let me slow down for a little bit and really try to absorb what they're trying to say. And the message was, when you think something's falling apart, it really may just be falling into place. And, so I really had to stop and think about that because, again, I had, I've been kind of going through it with some friends, been kind of, but as I'm going through it with those friends, I'm also um, rekindling friendships with people. I mean, it's just a lot of things are going on. And it was like, at first, it was just like a lot of negative things going on. And of course, the natural response that you have when you go through that type of stuff is, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Why am I going through this? And when I stopped, when I stopped having a pity party for myself and I stopped trying to play the victim, it was like, maybe these things need to happen. Maybe these people need to fall out of my lives. Maybe these people I don't need to be around. Maybe there's a reason why all of this stuff is happening. And so when I started to think about the why is all of this happening, not from a victim standpoint, but from a just truly trying to understand, I started to realize that, again, maybe there's a bigger reason, there's a bigger plan and a bigger reason as to why these people are starting to fall off at this moment, as I'm trying to elevate, as I'm trying to get better understanding, as I'm trying to continue to find myself, find out who I really want to be, who I'm trying to be, where I'm trying to go, as I'm looking to find my purpose. And I'm realizing that every time I turn around, with somebody else that I'm, getting into it with, or somebody else that I'm kind of having a falling out with. And like I said, just like recently over the past couple of weeks, just falling out with a lot of people. But what I'm realizing is, with the mindset that I have now, is I'm at peace, or at least I'm starting to find peace. I'm okay with, certain people starting to leave my life. If they want to go, they can go. I'm done chasing after people who don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm done running after people who, you know what I'm saying, just continue to show me that they don't want to be here or don't want to be around me. And that's perfectly fine. There may be things about me that are off putting to them. There may be things about me that don't mix well with them, or they may love who I was, and I'm trying not to be that person anymore because I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. I'm trying to get out of, my bad habits and the things like that. And I'm just trying to find this better version of me, this healing version of me, this peaceful version of me. And maybe this version of me, the version of me that I'm starting to become, or I'm working my way to become, doesn't mix well with who they are. Who knows what it is? Who knows the reasons why I've been clashing with them as much as I've been clashing with them? But my point is, there's a reason that we're clashing. And the reason might just be because I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm elevating, and my growth is taking me in a direction that, you know what I'm saying, they're not ready for, or it's turning me into, I'm transforming into something that isn't compatible with them. And I have to be okay with that. I have to understand that where I'm going, again, some of my friends or some of the people that are close to me now may not always be close with me, because they may not be able to go to places that I'm going. They may not be ready to go to the places that I'm going. They may not even want to go to some of the places that I'm going, because some of the places that I'm going may require sacrifice that they're not ready to give. It may require time that they're not ready to give. It may require relocating, and you know what I'm saying? They just may not be ready to do these things. And I'm learning that that's okay, you know, because at one point in time I was looking at it like, man, my friendship group is falling apart, man. You know, the people around me are just falling off. Everything's falling apart. But you know what I'm saying? When I take a second to take a step back and really change my perspective or look at it from all angles, every single angle, it's like, you know what? Instead of me looking at it from a negative point of view, what are the positives that are coming out of it? What are some of the good things that are coming out of, you know, maybe not having such a big friend group or such a big circle. And again, my circle was never big to begin with, but it's definitely a lot smaller than what it was, let's say, a month or two ago. And honestly, one of the things for me is I'm just finding peace. You know what I'm saying? Peace and quiet. I'm finding that I'm just in a good place mentally. I'm in a good place emotionally. I'm in a great place spiritually. And you know what I'm saying? So for me, what I once thought was a negative and what I once thought as, oh man, a frustration is definitely something that I'm happy about. So even as some of those friends might try to find their way back into my circle or try to find their way back into like a rhythm with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's way more hesitation there because again, as someone who's starting to find peace, I'm working just as hard or if not harder to maintain it. And so now that I'm starting to realize that not talking to certain people as much or not talking to certain people at all is just bringing me a sense of calmness, is bringing me a sense of peace. And so for me, as I'm trying to move forward in my journey and my growth and everything that I'm trying to do, I'm starting to realize, you know, that there is a certain peace and a certain calmness that comes with removing certain things out of your life, certain people with certain mindsets, or you know what I'm saying, getting rid of just certain situations or just removing yourself from certain situations. And so for me, you know what I'm saying, I can look at when they say sometimes we look at things as when we look at things as falling apart, really they're falling into place. You know, we just look at the falling apart side of it. We don't ever take the time. Well, it's me. Let me not say we. Let me say me. I never took the time to look at the falling into place part of things. I always just looked at the falling apart thing, and that's just where it stopped for me. Everything's falling apart. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my focus stayed, was on the things that were falling apart, the negative side of things, and I'm getting frustrated about, you know, whether it was people leaving, whether it was me losing my job, whether it was, um, having to move to a different area at my job, whatever it was that I felt was falling apart. That's all I focused on, was the falling apart side of it. I never focused on the fact that this might be a new opportunity. This might be a chance for me to move up. This might be a chance for me to evolve. You never know what type of opportunities are awaiting you if all you do is focus on the negative, because that's all you see. So even as you're walking into a potentially great opportunity, you don't see it as the potential great opportunity that it is. You just see that it's not what you're used to. You see, the only thing that you see is that it's not what it once was. And it's not what you're used to. And that's all you do is compare to what you're used to. You know what I'm saying? It might be um more pay over here with this new opportunity, but all you thinking about is, damn, this ain't what I'm used to. This ain't what I once had. This, you know what I'm saying? And that's all you focus on. You never take the time to even consider how this might affect you in a positive way. You just always assuming that it's going to affect you in a negative way. And don't get me wrong, I do understand that there's something to dancing with the devil that you know. So I do understand that, but I'm also understanding, again, being on this journey that I've been on, that sometimes that's just your comfort zone talking. That's just oh, you're comfortable in this place, you know this, you know what I'm saying? You know what your life is gonna look like, you know what your day is gonna look like when you stay in your bubble, in your comfort zone. But you also know what the ceiling is. You know what I'm saying? You know that it doesn't get any better than whatever your ceiling is of your comfort zone. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about staying in the box. You know where the floor is, you know where the ceiling is. But the good thing about getting outside of your box is there's new opportunities. Now the sky is the limit. You know what I'm saying? You may not have a ceiling in this new journey that you're getting ready to go on. But again, it's all about perspective. It's all about how you choose to look at things. And I think that for a lot of people, myself included, we just chose to look at things from a negative perspective. We chose to look at things from the perspective of, okay, I got used to this. This is what I know. I know I like this. And we never looked past, okay, I like it. I'm comfortable with it, so I like it. This is my cutoff. This is the end for me. And that we didn't look any, people like myself, we don't look any further than that, because for us, we just, it's all about finding a comfort zone. Like for me, I can tell you from just years and years of experience, I can talk a good game. Like I talked about wanting this, wanting that, wanting a business, wanting to work for myself. But as I've talked about before, I never had the real drive to do it. I never had the real drive to push myself through the tough times. I may have had drive to start or to initiate or to begin, but I never had that drive to keep pushing through the hard times, to keep pushing through, okay, I'm giving 100% day after day, but nothing's changing. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So I never even got to the point where it was week after week or month after month, because I never even pushed myself that far. I didn't have enough drive. I didn't have enough go and get it to even push myself that far. So, so for me, those, and again, because, I'm expecting, or I just want instant results. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see changes instantly. And when I wasn't seeing the changes instantly, whatever drive that I had to initiate, whatever it is, whether it was trying to work for myself, trying to go into business with a friend, whatever it was that I was trying to do, if I didn't see that initial positive feedback or that initial positive change that I was looking for, then all of my drive was gone, and I would just give up on the dream. I would give up on the hope. I would give up on myself. And I did that for so long that just became my norm. That became me. That's just who I was the person that when times got hard, or when times got hard, or when I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, my default was just to give up on myself. And so, as someone who's been accustomed to living in that box, I was okay with, knowing where my ceiling was, because I never really cared. I never expected anything for myself. I never had expectations for myself. So I was okay with having that ceiling until I had that job that I talked about, where the dude just constantly lied to me, constantly told me that, no, you're going to be doing the job that we hired you for, the job that you interviewed for. But for right now, I just need you doing that. And you know what I'm saying? Day after day, week after week of going in and doing things that I didn't want to do, things that made me uncomfortable. I was getting tired of being frustrated. I was getting tired of being lied to. And at that point, it just pushed me to realize that, okay, I put in so much work for other people's companies. I put in so much work to help other people's companies operate and to help them make money. You know what I'm saying? It's just my focus. I was just that level of frustration that I dealt with at that job made me realize that I didn't care about climbing the corporate ladder anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I went from just wanting a job, go in, do my job, go home, to being like, okay, maybe I know now that I can be a leader. I know now I can be this, I can be that. Let me go try to be a manager. Let me go try to be a supervisor, to getting that job and realizing that this ain't what I want to do. This doesn't bring me any type of joy. It doesn't bring me any type of happiness. All I'm doing is trying to chase a paycheck. And what I realized is, because that job that I got frustrated with, where the guy was lying to me, I was getting paid more than I've ever got paid at a job before. And so that's when I realized that it's really not even about the money, because I have the money, I have the nice check, I have all this, and I'm still not happy. I'm probably the most unhappy I've ever been at any job. I was at my happiest job was my very first job, where I was probably making like $8, 8.45. You see what I'm saying? This job I'm making probably three times that, and I'm miserable. And so in that moment, everything kind of clicked for me that no, it's not about the money. It's about doing what makes you happy. It's about me figuring out what makes me happy, figuring out what I want to do with my life and things like that. And so that's another situation where, everything had to fall apart for everything to start to fall in place. If I never get that job and I'm never that miserable and going through all of that with that dude and with that job and that experience, I'm not in front of this camera doing my thing. I'm not in front of this camera pushing myself to go for my goals and to go for my dreams. So now that I'm at a point where I can sit back and really just start to absorb the lessons that people tell me, I can look back at a lot of situations and see, okay, that's when things started to fall apart. And this was an opportunity for everything to start to fall in place, but I didn't take the opportunity. So now that I see it and I see what's going on, I'm starting to take the opportunities. So as people are starting to fall off, or as situations are starting to get bad, and I'm starting to realize, I'm starting to wake up, open my eyes and see that that person really wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? That situation really wasn't a good situation, now that I'm starting to take my blinders off, if you will. If I'm Now that I'm starting to really see things for what they really are and starting to see people for who they really are, I'm starting to realize that, you know, like they say, everything that glitters ain't gold. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to realize that, there was a lot of glitter on top of BS. So I'm starting to open my eyes to what situations really are and who people really are. And now I'm also starting to seize the opportunity of, okay, what would life be like without me having them there? You know what I'm saying? I'm not just automatically, oh, you don't want to be here. I'm not automatically just going to chase after them to bring them back for the sake of me having comfort or me being comfortable because I'm used to talking to you, or I'm used to texting you, or I'm used to us sending, reels back and forth with each other. So, you know what I'm saying? Me being used to having you around is what normally would have me fighting to get you back into my circle or get us back on good terms. And now it's kind of like, well, hold on a second. Let's see what life is like if they go do their thing. If we go our separate ways, what is life like? Do I enjoy life more? Is there more freedom? Do I feel a little freer? Do I feel a little more at peace? Is my mind a little more calm? And things like that. And what I'm starting to realize is, for the most part, yes. For the most part, the answer is yes to a lot of those questions, now that some of those people aren't around, now that they aren't, you know what I'm saying, in my circle or in my immediate surroundings, that there are things that are more peaceful. I am seeing myself be more calm. I am seeing myself not react as harshly as I used to. And that's something that, mind you, that's something that I have to deal with. I have to deal with my reactions and my emotions, and those are things that I'm working on. But I'm starting to see that when I don't have um a lot of negative energy around me, it makes it a lot easier for me to deal with certain negative emotions, because I don't have it constantly around me. So I'm not constantly dealing with it. And I don't have that constant pressure of negative emotions on top of me, because I'm not dealing with as many negative people. I'm not dealing with as much negative emotion. So now when I do have to deal with some negative emotion, I'm handling it a lot better. I'm being way more calm than what I used to be. And so now that I'm starting to notice, the things, it's making it even more easier for me to let people go as they fall off. It's making it a lot more easier not to text those people or to not call those people. It's making it a lot easier to delete those numbers and, and continue moving forward with my progress and with what I'm trying to do because I understand where I'm trying to go. And I'm also understanding that as much as I thought that certain people would go with me and as much as I thought that certain people would be by my side step by step, that's not going to be the case for everyone. There are going to be people who are there and then there are going to be people who don't make the cut. And you know what? That's okay on both sides because that might be what they need too. They might need that separation so that they can find out how great they are once they're not around whatever it is that I'm bringing out of them or whatever energy they're getting off of me. Because again, I'm not here to talk like I'm perfect in every situation or I wasn't to blame in some of those interactions that I was having that were negative. You know what I'm saying? I played my part in a lot of those things as well. But as I'm starting to learn, that I enjoy my peace. I enjoy this calmness, this calmer mind that I have now. I enjoy it. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm fighting very, very hard to keep my energy at this level. I'm doing very hard. I'm trying very hard to keep my mental where it is now. I don't want to go back down into those dark places. So, if that means that I have to stop talking to people as much or excuse me, I have to stop talking to people altogether to keep my mind there, then that's what I'm going to do because I'm all about right now just in this moment. And I mean, it may be, what I'm saying? Some people might look at it as selfish. I understand. But for me, I'm at a moment now or I'm at a time now where I'm just trying to do what's best for me. And what I'm starting to realize is what's best for me is getting rid of certain people that are in my life, certain energies, certain situations, certain toxins that are just in my life. The best thing for me is just to start getting rid of them. And I'm just thankful that I'm at a point now where my eyes are open and I can start to see people and situations for what they are. And I can also start to see myself for what I am and start to see that there are things that I do that are toxic, my toxic traits. And so, me being passive aggressive, me wanting to throw like slick shots and shade at people, these are all things that I'm working on to stop doing. I'm working hard to stop doing. I'm working hard to catch myself when I'm in the middle of doing it. I'm working hard to catch myself right before I do it. I'm working on apologizing as soon as I hear myself or as soon as I catch myself doing it. So, there are things that I'm working on because like I said, it's not just about them. It's also me. I also participated in the toxic environment that I've created that, what I'm saying, me and the people around me have created. It wasn't just them, it was also me, adding to the toxicity. So, I'm working very hard to clean up a lot of the toxic things that I know that I do. And I'm working hard to discover the other toxic things that I may not know that I do just yet. But to get back to the lesson, it just sometimes it takes things falling apart for you to start to see those things, for you to start to pick at all of these little things and these little pieces that you need to start to fix. Sometimes, what I'm saying, you gotta tear some walls down to build your infrastructure back up to get it more solid. Sometimes you gotta, what may start off as a little crack because you think it's a small problem, as you do more investigating, it's a bigger problem. But the only way to find out is you gotta be willing to tear up some things to get to the root of the issues. And so, you know that's what I'm doing right now. That's what this process is about, is I'm starting to build myself into the person that I want to be and starting to build a better foundation for myself. I have to tear everything down. And there's some good things about me, some great qualities about me. Those are the things that I want to keep, but there's a lot of bad. I created a lot of bad habits dealing with, my trauma over the years. And so that's the things that I'm working on. I'm working on how to start to heal from my trauma, starting to heal from everything that I've been through and just trying to reverse all the bad habits that I have and all the toxic traits that I've developed over the years, and trying to heal some friendships that I've been a part of making toxic, just trying to heal those friendships. And certain friendships I understand are beyond healing, they're beyond repair. And the only thing that I can do is genuinely apologize for the part I played in ruining those friendships, and the ones that can be repaired. Only thing that I can do is my part in trying to repair it. You know what I'm saying? If the other person doesn't want to repair it, that's fine. I completely understand. The only thing I can do is be sincere when I come to those people and try to apologize and try to work on and try to show that, number one, that I am working to become better. I know I'm not going to sit here and act like I've changed and I've made a complete 180, but I know that I'm growing. I know that I'm getting better. I know that I can recognize that there were things that I was doing that was wrong, and I hurt a lot of people with my actions and with the way I reacted and the way that I talked to people. But I am genuinely sorry, and I'm genuinely trying to work on myself and work on those relationships that can be repaired. And to the ones that can't, again, sincere apologies for, you know, the things that I did that contributed to our friendship going the way that it went. And I mean, that's all that I can do is just genuinely apologize and do better and do what I can to make sure it doesn't happen again going forward. Striving to be better than what I was. That's all I can really do. I can't change the past. I can't go back and recreate the situation to do better. Only thing I can do is just continue to work and show that I am improving. I am getting better. I am growing and moving in the right directions. But I also have to understand that I can't be afraid to allow things to um what am I trying to say? Allow things to crumble. I can't be afraid to allow certain situations to crash out if they need to, without a lack of better terms. Like sometimes some things just got to hit the wall. You know what I'm saying? You got to create that wall for certain situations and be like, you know what? I'm washing my hands of it. I'm done with it. And that's what I'm learning. That's what this lesson is all about, is like we see it as, oh no, this is over. The world is ending, this relationship is changing, or this is whatever it is, it's ending. And that's okay. Sometimes change, change has to happen, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Sometimes you got to burn some stuff so that new and better and stronger things can grow from those ashes. And so you never know what opportunities or what doors are getting ready to open, because you're getting ready to leave these situations alone. You know what I'm saying? As I've said before, when we're ready to elevate, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be able to elevate with you. Certain things, certain mindsets aren't going to work as you start to elevate and as you start to meet people who are on these elevated levels. So you got to elevate your mindset. You got to elevate everything. Everything has to elevate and upgrade as you start to hit these newer and higher levels. And so as I'm trying to get to whatever level that I'm meant to get to, and as I'm trying to find my purpose, I'm starting to realize that I got to tear down a lot of things about myself. I have to tear down a lot of friendships, um, a lot of associates that I have. There's just a lot of things that have to change, and I have to accept that, and I have to be okay with those changes happening. And I'm starting to get to that point because I'm starting to realize that I enjoy my peace. I enjoy this calm mind. I enjoy not I enjoy the fact that when things happen now, my first instinct isn't to be petty. My first instinct isn't to get back or to get revenge or to make you feel the way you're making me feel right now. I love that sometimes my first instinct now is to is, to ask, is that necessary? Or, what I'm saying, just trying to figure out as opposed to get back. I remember when my first thought was just get back, no matter how small or how petty things were. That was just my first thought: get back, get revenge. Whereas now I'm like, was that necessary? Did you really have to do that? I'm asking questions now as opposed to just trying to take action and get revenge and, what I'm saying, and just be petty. And so that's one of the reasons why I know I'm healing. And it may sound small to people, but for me, that's huge. That the fact that my first thought isn't go be petty, go meet them where they are, go meet them at that low level, go give off that low energy and meet them, what I'm saying, with that same low energy that they're giving you. So the fact that that isn't my first response is big for me. That's huge for me. So I know that even if it is just a small step, it is a step in the right direction. And so once I start to see little things like that, it makes me want to take another step and take another step, because I know that if nothing else, I'm at least pointed and headed in the right direction. And for me, I'll take that. I'll take the small steps because I understand that enough small steps, what I'm saying, I'll get my goal. You know what I'm saying? It may take me more steps than other people, but as long as I'm continuing to take those steps and I'm continuing to get better and I'm continuing to improve and I can continue to notice my progress and I'm moving forward in the right direction, I'm okay with that. Even if it's a slow walk, a slow grind, a slow move, I'm okay with that. As long as I'm moving in the right direction and I'm progressing and moving forward, that's all I care about. I don't care about how fast I'm going. And even hearing myself say that again, that's progress. The fact that I don't care about how fast it moves as long as it's moving, because in the past, like I just said earlier, when it wasn't moving fast, that discouraged me. That made me want to stop doing it because it's not moving at the pace that I wanted it to move, and I'm not seeing the results at the levels that I want to see them, or I just wasn't seeing results at all. And that would just make me want to give up on whatever it was that I'm doing because I don't feel like it's worth it, because I didn't believe in myself. First of all, I didn't believe in myself at all, and I didn't believe in whatever I was doing. Whereas now I believe in myself. I know that I can achieve what I want to achieve. I know that I can become whatever it is that I want to become, but I also know that it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of grind. It's going to take a lot of effort and energy, especially when times are hard and I'm putting in all of this work and I'm not seeing results. That's when the test is going to come, because that's when I failed. That's my stopping point, when times get hard and you know, the situation requires you to keep going, even though you don't know at this point, you don't know why you're doing it. You don't know why you're continuing to go, because you're not seeing the results that you want. Things aren't going the way you thought they were going to go. Everything is telling you to just give up. And that's where I would just give up. I would listen to whatever it was and I would just give up. So when that time comes, we'll see where I am. But I believe that I'll keep going and I'll keep pushing forward, because I realize that anything worth having is worth fighting for, and it's worth struggling for, and it's worth going through the grind for. And that's what my mindset is. And I know that I'm worth it. And I know that this better version of myself that I'm trying to get to is worth all of the grind and all of the work and all of the efforts and energy that I'm putting into myself and what I want to do for myself. I know that I'm worth it, and I know that my future is worth it. So I'm pushing. So I say to anybody listening, no matter what you're going through, you are worth it. You are worth the effort, you're worth the energy, but you have to believe it first. Nobody's going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. You have to be willing to push yourself, grind through it all, grind through the hard times, through the good times, whatever it is that you're going through, keep pushing, keep going forward, keep your eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? And I know that that isn't easy. Again, trust me, as someone who's been quick to give up on themselves because things aren't going the way I wanted to, I completely understand how easy it is to give up on yourself. But ask yourself this: If you give up on yourself now just because it's hard, where is that going to leave you? It's going to leave you in the same place you've been for forever. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how old you are and how long you've been doing this, it's going to put you right back to where you was. And you already know where you were. You already know what's waiting on you there. And that's just a bunch of nothing. So why give up and go back there? Keep pushing, keep reaching new heights, because you know what's out there, and you know that what's out there is way better than what's waiting for you if you decide to quit. So just keep pushing yourself, keep and surround yourself with people who will push you, because I do understand that, there are going to be times when you're ready to give up, and you've got to have the right people around you who can catch it, who can see it, who can recognize it and realize it, and then they can be your backbone. They can be your support when you're just ready to fall. They can be the ones to catch you and say, no, it's not right now. You've come too far to just give up. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, even if it's just one step at a time, keep pushing forward. So make sure you got the right people around you who are gonna catch you and aren't gonna allow you to return around and go back home. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you, you know what, keep going because you've made it this far. You might as well keep pushing. So no matter what's going on, no matter how bad things may seem, no matter how troubled, your situation is, understand that sometimes things have to fall apart for things to fall in place. So just because people are starting to fall off, or just because situations are starting to fall off, and you just never know what's going to happen. You got to sometimes allow things to fall in place. So keep pushing, keep going forward. And as certain things fall, just start to watch, just start to observe that, yeah, this person's falling off, but man, they've just opened up a spot for this person, and this person is exactly what I need right now. This person is giving me the motivation that I need, whereas this person that fell off wasn't giving me no type of energy but negative energy. And now I'm allowing all this positive energy to come in. So not every bad situation not everything that's bad isn't going to stay bad. These storms don't last forever. These hard times don't last forever. So, we just got to push through. We got to grind through the hard times, because the good times are on the other side of these hard times. So just keep going. And, that's just the lesson that I had for today. That was what was on my mind and what was on my heart. It's just, sometimes things gotta fall apart for things to fall into place. So no matter what's falling apart right now, just understand to keep doing, keep grinding, keep going through what you need to go through, and watch how things start to fall in place as long as you stay with it, stick with it, and keep going. But that's today's episode. I want to thank everybody who's listening on any of the platforms. I appreciate you for listening. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think, or if there's anything that you want me to touch on and talk about. And the same thing goes for anybody watching on YouTube. Y'all already know, like, comment, and subscribe. I want to continue growing. And I want to thank everybody for all the support, whether it's listening, watching, liking, commenting, sharing. Everything that y'all do, I really do appreciate it. And y'all have a blessed day.